Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season number 6. Thank you for taking time out of your TI qualifier busy schedule to take a gander here at some good old BR Dota action. We've got INTZ Esports up against BoRaDota team formerly known as Rebeldes. And I'm going to pull up some odds here. Didn't have a chance to do too much research on the match. I can't bet with any cheese on these games simply because, well, what's going on, but INTZ Esports heavily favored here. That may be because people don't know that BoRaDota has picked up Rebeldes. Rebeldes / BoRaDota is favored on Dota 2 Best YOLO. So in terms of where people are actually putting their rares, it's definitely in the hands of BoRaDota. Anyways, I'm SP Revolution 5, of course, with Truesight TV. Should be a very interesting game. We already have INTZ picking up the Shadow Fiend, the Earthshaker, and the Viper. They've banned out Wisp and Undying. We see Gyrocopter and Queen of Pain banned out by BoRaDota. Rubik, Clockwork picked up in their first phase, followed by Bristleback and Tinker. Now, Tinker, I'm a little bit questioning, but I do think that it's HFN. And forgive me if I'm wrong here. But HFN plays their Tinker very well. Now, they will have the Spirit Breaker on the side of INTZ, so looking to fight early. Looking to get a lot of early damage and early push out as well. Good balance of ranged and melee, too. But BoRaDota more concerned with counter initiation with the Clockwork. Bristleback being able to tank up in team fights, and Tinker providing that burst damage we all know and sometimes love. I put sometimes because, well, it's not always a lovely thing to have up against you there.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Anyways, INTZ up against BoRaDota. We're going to ban out the Witch Doctor as well.
Radiant team pick.
Should be pretty interesting. And wow, we already have 21 viewers out here. Thank you guys for coming out. This really means a lot to us that we can get this many viewers during the TI qualifiers. We were actually trying to determine whether or not we should go out
10 seconds.
and have the stream tonight, but hey, that many viewers means a ton to us. Let me log off Steam here, as it will be a 5th pick Visage for BoRaDota as well. Sorry about the Steam notifications still coming up in the corner there, as I believe
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Okay, it doesn't look like there's an update incoming just yet. No massive Reddit post incoming, at least. So we do see the 5th pick Visage, though. Very surprised it was left alone until this time, but of course, a lot of these other heroes have been favored here. I'm surprised they pick up the Tinker this early, though, but having the Visage alongside it will be very nice. Now, they do have a Shadow Demon on the side of INTZ Esports, which does put Spirit Breaker or Earthshaker into that core position. Not too sure which of those it will be, though. Let's go ahead and get our other overlay up. We heard that some of you did not care for our previous overlay, it was a little too bright. Therefore, we had our graphic artist, Cedrin, revamp it here. I can't edit my HUD just yet, but I will.
Prepare for battle.
Sorry about that. Anyways, good luck, have fun coming out from both sides. Hopefully won't be lagging too much. This game did turn everything down, so should be pretty interesting. Both teams giving a little bit of banter here. Of course, as is usual in the Brazilian scene. We've got Cobb on the Shadow Demon as all 5 of INTZ will be smoked up in the river here. And what is with the lag? It's probably just because it's a Brazil server. Let's check my ping. Holy God, 416 milliseconds. Okay, we'll make it work. As HFM will get disrupted, charged on, and hit with a fissure. Some raises coming through, and Cobb will actually secure the first blood by killing him off, I'm assuming with his own illusions or some right clicks. It's going to be 6th on your Earthshaker. Alexia will be on the Spirit Breaker. We've got Torototones on the Viper, and Sune will be on your Shadow Fiend. On the other side of the river, you have Asiatico Bronzado on the Bristleback. We have 1, 2, 3 on the Rubik. Cat will be playing your Visage. In the mid lane, we have HFN, who apparently needs a pause here for whatever reason on the Tinker. He was also First Blood, going to get him off to a bit of a rougher start. And Bardo will be on the Clockworker. For some SP Revolution 5 at Truesight TV. Just looking at these lineups, I have to say that they look relatively even. Laning stage-wise, I have to give it over to INTZ. The power of Shadow Demon and Spirit Breaker in the early game, as well as Viper, is very strong. And if they crush lanes hard enough, I mean, we all know how that's going right now in the meta. If you win your lanes hard enough and you can just death ball out of them, you can win the game right then and there. But, of course, if PlagueDota can find some pickoffs and that kind of thing, as Bardo will actually be picking up a bounty rune right away here. But PlagueDota going to be able to make a comeback in that sense. We'll have a bit of a block going on here. I'm going to have to try and solve some of these lag issues. It's not going too well, though. Anyway, so we'll have on the bottom lane a bit of action as 1, 2, 3 will get charged up here. Alexia in a bit of trouble already, as Bristleback has got a goo out on him yet. Level 1 goo, of all things. Not exactly standard by any means, but can definitely work here. I've not heard of this Bristol player before in the Brazilian scene, and I'm pretty knowledgeable on my Bristleback, or my Brazilian players, actually as HFN. In the mid lane, gonna get harassed out. 2 souls up on Shadow Fiend, not a ton here as he did level those raises first. Again, guys, sorry for the bit of lag here. Can't control it. It's US to Brazil connection. And he is gonna throw out some rockets. They just can't seem to find the last right click in there. And they're going to finally give up and head back here, as the courier does come in and bring a salve out to the Tinker. This does waste a lot of the Shadow Fiend's time, though. He is still sitting on 2 souls. If he'd gotten that kill, would have been a very big deal. But, alas, it was not. Don't forget, if you are watching your TI qualifiers, you can add us to your multi-Twitch right there. Would be very appreciated, as it would help support our channel. We also, tomorrow in the afternoon, will have 4 ASC up against Yellow Submarine in the semifinal of the Starlighter TV Playoff Pro Series. Should be pretty interesting. The winner goes up against alternate attacks. Of course, Yellow Submarine gonna be playing in the EU qualifiers on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is Friday. Soon gonna get picked up. Will land a raise, though. Should go down for it, but does have 14 souls now, as opposed to the 2 he had previously. It's gonna be enough. He actually will live, and he is having a bottle brought out to him. A little surprised he's not picking up something like a salve here. Even though he has those, that one extra tango, I don't think it'll be enough. Bardo, meanwhile, going to go down up top to Cobb, who was able to bring him down with just one more right click and a little bit of extra damage. Shatter Demon, again, very strong in the early game. In my opinion, one of the strongest heroes you can possibly get. I mean, just his potential to roam around the map and get a lot done is going to be a very big deal. Cat, meanwhile, getting chased down by Alexia a bit. Does have 2 points in the charge and 2 in the bash as well. Of course, this is Join Dota League. It's not TI5 qualifier, hence my kappa in the chat there. 3-0 already for INTZ. As Tinker is going to be going for a very aggressive build here. He does have 2 in the rocket, 2 in the laser. But, should be very interesting. Anyways. 6th gonna be over here on the Earthshaker. Moving around a bit. And Shadowfiend just continuing to farm relatively well. Not getting the huge amount of CS you kind of expect for Shadowfiend, but he'll be doing alright. And Rubik here to harass out a bit. And Bardo already getting 2 points in the rocket. Now keep in mind the rocket was buffed in 6.84.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And our Bristleback down here. I do not know how to pronounce that, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Sorry. I'm just going to go with Bristleback for the rest of the game. Anyways, sorry for getting a bit distracted here. Just trying to keep you guys interested in the chat. Looks like there are no TI games going on right now. Which, I'm just going to be honest, I have them up on the second monitor. Sorry. I want to keep up on TI. I hope you guys are still watching this and the TI. Of course, you can use multi-twitch for that. Alexia gonna be able to charge out, it looks like, onto a mid lane creep. Of all things. I don't know how he had vision of that creep, but okay. And he'll just get off toward the mid lane. Rubik gonna be blocking him off from taking this bounty rune. As up top, Tinker, or Clockwork rather, is gonna actually find a regen rune. Will get hit with a soul catcher and unfortunately taken down as Sune finds another soul to add to his collection. 1100 gold up on him right now. It'll be interesting to see what he goes for here. Shadowfiend, not the hero he once was in my opinion, just because the metagame doesn't exactly suit him quite as much as it previously did.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, up on the top tower, taking a bit of damage. We shall see. Want to know who you guys are rooting for in the chat? Of course, Ant's looking good right now, sitting at about a 15k gold lead. Excuse me, a 1.5k gold lead, not a 15,000 gold lead this early in the game. That would be a bit ridiculous. And XP sitting at about 750. They are not making tons of rotations around, which I'm a little surprised. Shadow Demon, though, getting a lot done in the early game, does have 1 point up in Shadow Poison. They will smoke up right now and look to actually go gank the jungle with the Shadow Fiend. Now, these supports haven't been seen in lane in a little while, as far as I know. So I'm assuming that's what they're looking for, and they do place down a ward, searching for these stacks. They found one. There is a triple stack actually down there. And they're going to look to wrap around on the Tinker. Unfortunately, though, there's a TP in from the Rubik as soon as he's spotted. HFN, they're going to get the Soul Catcher actually out on the Rubik, which is not exactly their intended target. They'd rather take down Tinker, and they'll be able to, as Sune is going to get a killing spree done here. 1, 2, 3, Abe. Going to be moving out here. Doesn't have another Fade Bolt, at least not in range at the moment, but could get one that bounces off Alexia. And the Shadow Fiend able to bring him down with some raises. Rubik will be going down indeed, as Shadow Demon not looking too hot. Alexia, meanwhile, is going to try to take down Visage. Not quite going to do enough, though. As Visage will end up taking him down. I'm assuming that was a point in... Whoa, excuse me. Gravekeeper's Cloak, yep, keeping him alive. Very good. Bardo looking around up top. It looks like Reinessa is going to have a mech as his first item. He hasn't got anything on the courier, but getting that mech early on and helping the team fight is going to be very good. Now, we are going to see Spirit Breaker charging on in on this Tinker, who has been trying to farm this stack up. Tinker getting bashed back now, but won't take any damage as, well, has applied that mischance to the Spirit Breaker. It is a level 2 laser, and after he had a rough time in lane, he has gone for that March of the Machines build. I know Hippie and I were talking about that the other week. As March of the Machines has been very, very useful. Oh, it's just about Asian tanning. Okay. Don't worry about that one, Mom. It's the player's name. Yeah. I say that and then I turn around to see my mother peeking into the door that she's gotten back from a meeting she was at this evening. Oh my gosh. The things that walk into, of course, a good old Brazilian game would not be complete without the classic 7-1 scoreline. Alexia actually going to charge on into this Rubik here, who is only level 4. We'll get a liftoff though, and Bardo coming in with the hook shot now does have the cogs to separate out a bit here. And we'll be able to break out of them. Reinessa's not getting anything for that one. And, well, ripping Pepperino's Brazil 7-1. And Cobb in a little bit of trouble. They will throw down the Soul Catcher. This is a very nice setup for Shadow Fiend's Requiem. But Asian Tan gonna be going down here. I guess that's what I'll call him.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
If the audio isn't stuttering, it's other than my own stuttering at times, it's just the lag. I mean, I'm in USA trying to get to Brazil. It's 285 milliseconds. Not as bad as it was. Sune gonna find quite the stack here. He'll also be getting a Yule's Scepter. Very nice to be able to purge off the laser debuff with the Tinker, although I'm not sure it'll do too much for him. It may just buy Tinker some time to rearm and then throw out another laser. But,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
may not be enough as Clockwork throwing out a flare. Did he get enough? Sune should be having this Yule's done any second now that he can get the courier. Of course, Reinessa is actually going to be grabbing up his mechanism right now. I find it odd that I've not heard of Fuga before. I feel like I should have if he's a very well-known Brazilian player, but I haven't been following the scene as closely as I once did. Simply because I've been trying to cover Merc and Dota whenever possible. Do you have the Clockwork Rocket coming on out now? Esparto is going to try to do that.
Radiant's bottom tower is
And they're going to group up around the bot tower. This is where it starts. The push train.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now, Tinker is very close to those boots of travel. With 2k saved up toward them. And he's actually going to have them at a very reasonable timing, considering his awful state in the lane. It just was not a fun time for him, but he is going to have those up right around the 13-minute mark, which is going to be extremely effective. I don't think Tinker has by any means lost this game already, as he'll be able to farm up and split push very nicely, and take advantage of the fact that this team wants to group up. I mean, Tinker being elsewhere on the map, they don't have the resources to really chase him down. I mean, sure, Spirit Breaker can charge him, but by the time you get there, he might already be gone. And you could find yourself headed toward the fountain if you're not careful.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We're going to see Visage Familiars, and this is what I was thinking during the draft. I just wasn't too sure about it. He's actually going to go invade the enemy jungle with the use of Visage Familiars, and your Dire team has absolutely no clue that it's going on. I mean, why would you ward your own jungle, right? But they might come by in a minute. Actually, as he stacks it up, beautifully done here by HFN. I mean, just textbook play, and he'll TP out just in time before Spirit Breaker's able to get vision of him. And now he knows. Now he's like, guys, we have a serious problem. There's a Tinker infestation in the jungle. We're gonna have to call an exterminator. Someone to turn off the robot. Does he have an off switch? No, he doesn't. It just resets him so he gets free cooldowns. I know, right? Totally balanced hero. Meanwhile, it looks like Asian Tan or Fuga or whatever we call him here is going to be jumped on by about the entire team. Spirit Breaker able to get in front of him with that Nether Strike and take him on down. That's a pretty big kill for your Viper, who is sitting on 1,800 gold. Not too sure what he's going for next, but could be quite a few things, honestly. We could see an Axe come up. We actually could see a Blink Dagger as HGT, I think it was, rest in Pepperinos, as they didn't make it through to the qualifiers, even though I believe Air had what it took. This is not very... I'm disappointed in them. But anyways, they picked up a Viper and actually went for the Blink Dagger here, but it looks like it may be a Glimmer Cape, as Viper was feeling a little dull. I mean, let's be honest, he could use a makeover, model-wise. But, he is going to be shining with the best of them there. 1, 2, 3, going to get bashed up here. There is a raise from Shadow Fiend. It's not quite enough, as Spirit Breaker will secure the kill with one last swing of the old mace in there. And, just kidding. It's a Hood of Defiance for Viper, going for the full hood. I mean, I knew Viper was raised in the Bronx, but just kidding, he wasn't. That wasn't, part of his lore. Yeah, please don't quote me on that one. Anyways, Tinker actually going to be using these Visage Birds to the utmost potential. And you can see, I mean, there's one right here. I believe the other one's dead at the moment, but I mean, this is basically a bird bomb for the Tinker, giving him the ability to be anywhere on the map at any time, assuming the bird can get there, so not in the fountain. As it is 2-10. PlagueDota not really getting too much done with this newfound boots of travel on Tinker. Not what I'd like to see, personally. But he does have 1,900 gold up, surely going for something like a Blink into something like a Dagon. I'd actually like to see the Dagon first to possibly get some pickoffs on the Shadow Demon, Shadow Fiend. Although Shadow Demon can save himself, and that is one of his big upsides as a support. The fact that he's going to be able to almost go down and then say, oh, nope, I'm fine. Disruption on myself. I'm good, boys. We're back. As swagger demoned as ever. Of course, not quite living up to the swagger fiend there. Who does not have the taunt equipped, unfortunately. I have heard bits of news that we may be getting a Shadow Fiend Immortal. I'm hoping. I am hoping.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Stinker is going to pick up that Blink Dagger. And there is a hook shot in on Sune. The TP coming in from the Tinker. He's going to get a laser off. The death ult won't do enough to bring anybody down. He'll just get a few measly right clicks, it looks like. Or last hits, excuse me. As Alexia continues his charge and may be in a bad situation here. As he's going to get lifted by the Rubik. Telekinesis is such a good ability. But despite the zoning fissure from the Clockwork, which was up from his own team, he's going to get the big bash off there. Nether Strike actually picked up by your Rubik. They charge back out onto the Clockwork, who did get disrupted there. He'll be able to bring down the Spirit Breaker with just a few more right clicks. That's 2 deaths on the side of INTZ. They get nothing for it, and that's a smoke spent as well. So, let's see. Their smoke is on cooldown. 322 remaining on that, and they don't have another one in the bank. Let's check on the Radiance smoke. Can we please get a... Okay, I know this is nitpicky, but Volvo, please, can we have a tab like these that shows if there's smokes available and if there are what's the other thing, gym as well in stock, and wards for that matter, because why not? It'd be really nice to have. I don't see what the problem would be. Looks like we need a pause. Pause? What? Okay, we just said pause? Okay. Okay, I guess we're not having a pause. Not making much sense to me. One said pause, the other team said agreed. Okay, we'll do it. Just kidding, no we won't. As Sune and Torotorones are going to look for Roshan here. Keep in mind, he will be getting a good 80 damage maximum. Or, excuse me, not 80 damage maximum. As it is... only level 3, it'll be 60 damage maximum from this Nether Toxin. Sorry about that there, guys. But, meanwhile, mid, they're going to be going after this. Now, they have to know that either Shadow Fiend is farming or he's taking Rosh. And judging by the fact that Viper's not on the map, they should be realizing this. HFN is actually going to take advantage of this moment and go up into the Dire Jungle, go ahead and take that down. If they can get a tower here, it may be worth it, as there will be an ult out on the Bristleback. 6, taking a lot of damage, will mech up thanks to the Viper. Now Sune getting the blink in, will get a Yule's off on 1, 2, 3, and he will take him down. That's 2 deaths for your Radiant team, and they still keep their tower up. In fact, they get the deny as well. That is a huge, huge team fight for INTZ. Even with the, let's just say, 500-ish gold gained by PlagueDota for the tower, it's not going to do quite as much as, will be a pretty big swing for him as well. Well, Spirit Breaker with the Shadow Blade pickup is going to have a very nice ganking tool in his arsenal, and now ArchaeaDota really are going to start to sweat. They're feeling the pressure, and the pressure has definitely been, I'd say, correctly applied by INTZ Gaming here, as they will be able to take down these outer towers very easily and then start assaulting the base. Now, chances are their Aegis will have run out by the time they're ready to break high ground, but they can always get another. I mean, it's definitely true, so. Once again, guys, if you're enjoying the broadcast, don't forget to hit that follow button, as we are very steadily working on getting partnered with Twitch, and therefore, sooner or later, hopefully, you'll be able to subscribe to Truesight TV, get yourself your own set of Truesight TV emotes, a little chat badge as well, and you'll help support us. And Jeffin and Shadowfiend just knowing each other's nearby, Sune actually gonna try to find him here. Actually, go after the Visage Bird, buddy. You know it's... I don't think he knows it's there. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, the trees were just blocking his sight. He will take it down, though, and there's no resummon available for a whopping 6 seconds. That's right, 6 seconds without the birds. It's like an eternity. Thorone's gonna get hit with the hook shot and tossed back by the cogs there. Very nicely played by Bardo, as the rest of the team will be able to jump onto him, and that's a steal from Rubik as well, and a kill picked up by him to help him do a lot as well. Shadowfiend, meanwhile, in the enemy jungle, sitting on... Sorry about that, need to wake up a little bit. Sitting on 1,500 gold, though, looking towards his next item. And HFN rearming himself back up. And just going to be headed back to base, of course. We'll be going for what appears to be a sheep stick to stop the right click from coming out, so not going with a burst damage focused build at the moment. And there will be a BKB picked up on the Shadowfiend. Now, he'll be sending back his empty bottle to the fountain, but BKB, of course, going to help him do a little bit of damage, but most importantly is that magic resistance up against the Tinker. I was about to say before that he was going to be building a damage item next, but oh, how wrong I would have been, as... yeah, he can't get his damage off if he keeps getting disabled and nuked down by Tinker. Because if he's dead, I mean, how you gonna do damage when you're dead? From beyond the grave? No. I'm sorry. Border is 1, 2, 3 over here on the Rubik. We'll be moving about a bit. Looks like Sune, excuse me. What am I calling him? He's going to move out to the mid lane. A relatively stagnant game at this point. Gold has been going back and forth a bit, but we really are waiting on that big team fight from INTZ. Now, Alexia going to get a charge off, but does have that Shadow Blade to say, you know what, not really worth it, okay? Not really. So there is a Sentry Ward placed down by your Dire, and Asiatico does have the Sanjinyasha picked up. We're going to see Alexei actually charging him once again under the Sentry, which I'm not too sure he realizes is there. Grave Chill going to come out and help Visage get away. Still, another engagement that's not working out. Now, the Shadow Blade does help in that you don't have to use a smoke. You can, of course, just use that Shadow Blade. Smoke is currently out of stock for your Dire team. Does the Radiant have a smoke available? They have one in the stash, or in the shop. Current gold. Yeah, your supports have enough money to buy that. They've actually got quite a lot saved up in the bank, with Visage working towards Scepter. Rubik probably saving towards a Blink Dagger.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But once again, Smoke is one of those items. It's supposed to pay for itself. I mean, 100 gold to help get a kill. It's practically like buying experience if you can pull the kill off. And it's not like in CSGO where you have to know exactly where to throw the smoke. You just pop a smoke up over you, you're in a smoke cloud, you're good to go. The smoke cloud moves with you. If it happened like that in CSGO, I'd be like a Desert Master Guardian the 10th or something. But I'm silver something as well. Alas, so it goes. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, we're going to see people moving about, as they tend to. Still only 5-13 your score. Haven't had a kill in a little while as Shadowfiend. He's farming up the data list right now. I believe it's not already done, yeah. Needs about 1,000 gold to go, though, and should have it pretty soon. And Tinker, well, he's going to go down pretty easily. Yule's old-fashioned there. I mean, what do you expect at that point? DD Rune actually up for Shadowfiend does. Excuse me. Got a case of the hiccups here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Does, I mean, he's going to be able to take down a tower. What else is there to say about that one? Really. Ags up for the Viper, and they will begin sieging the base. Now, they don't have the Aegis right now, so this can be considered a dangerous push, but with Tinker down for 10 more seconds, I mean, they're going to get half the tower's health done here. And, of course, that top tower going to be very good. Now, they'll trade for a bot tower, and I feel like they're totally fine with trading here. In fact, hookshot in from the Clocker. Torotorone is going to get knocked back a bit. A missile to come out. They do have another set of missiles. It will hit on two. Cobb and Torotorone getting hit there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yes, they do. At least pick off the one on the bot lane in that previous engagement. Shadowfiend now with the data list complete, and this is pretty much going to be the time where they say, okay, it's time to push, boys. It is time to push. Spirit Breaker just going to get his free trip to lane via the Spirit Breaker Express, otherwise known as his Q. Did put a point in stats over Empowering Haste, and I will admit, yeah, Empowering Haste, not the greatest of abilities. However, it does add damage to your bash. So, that's something. And Roche going to be going down for the second time. Your Radiant team does know about it with the Clockwork Rocket, but with the Daedalus up on Shadowfiend, they believe they can do it in time. Now, there is going to be Viper picking up a CP. As Asian Tan is going to go down there. Now, Sune getting hook shot up. There will be a Blade Mail out. He'll pop the ult, though. Bardo taking a lot of damage. The Blade Mail will do nothing in return. The Echo Slam coming out on quite a few up here. I believe that was 3. Cat getting a soul assumption off. Is it enough? Asian Tan gonna go down. Looks like they're all gonna fall. It's a 5-man wipe. Tinker goes down to Roche, but still, that opens the door for INTZ to take this Roche and potentially push a Rex. Now, there are 3 buybacks up on ArchaeaDota for your Rubik, your Bristleback, and your Tinker. There's even a gym on the ground. Guys? Hello? Yeah, there we go. Shadow Demon's like, wait a second. Maybe I should pick that up. Just maybe. And 4 staff up for your Earth Chicken. Now, there will be a buyback from the Tinker. Rubik able to respawn quickly enough, but Bristleback gonna have to rely on his team to hold him off. And the pipe from Viper just keeping him sustaining up against this push. In fact, keep an eye on Tinker here, who has had to run back to base just to get a little bit of extra regen. Sune, though, he may be low on health, but his Aegis can be popped, and he's got another BKB up in just a second or two. Nobody else has fallen for INTZ, and they've already taken out the Tinker with Viper. That's such a huge deal. There will be another strike stolen by Rubik, but what's he going to do about it, really? Sune, he pops the BKB. He'll basically 3-hit the Rubik here as ArchaeaDota are crumbling up against INTZ at the moment. It's a triple kill for Sune. The buyback does come out for the Bristleback, and he may be able to make something happen here, as Sune does not have the second life available, but he will manage to bring Bristleback down to 200 HP, almost all the way from full life.
Bottom tower is under attack.
But they do not take the racks in the end. So, 3 heroes from INTZ fall. They do spend an Aegis there as well. But multiple buybacks were spent from ArchaeaDota, which I think is a much bigger deal. Going ahead and sort of clearing out roadblocks for their future push. Now, they have a 7-minute window or so. A 5-minute window now for HFN with no buyback where they can push. Keep in mind, the Aegis is not up for quite a while. So they will be forced to push without Aegis, but they know that the Tinker doesn't have a buyback. They also know that Bristleback has no buyback. Visage and Rubik do, but no one else on your Radiant side has the buyback. The Core's just, they don't have the money for it at this point. Meanwhile, we'll see Earthshaker taken down by the Clockwork there. Bardo able to get a kill using the flare to get some vision as well. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow afternoon at, I want to say, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have a Russian Dota match. It's going to be Yellow Submarine, your TI Open Qualifier winner, up against for ASC. So it is basically a pre-TI qualifier preview here. But actually, there's a big ult from Sune. BKB keeping him safe from the Blade Mount. Asian Bronze Tan Man going to be going down. And that is 3 heroes down. A bit of an overextension there from ArchaeaDota, and took a fight 4v5 and definitely lost.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, the mid-racks, of course, going down. And they will take the ranged as well. I mean, with these heroes down for long periods of time, they also know Bristle does not have his buyback available since he bought back in the previous fight. And it's still down for another 2 minutes, 3 minutes almost for him. Ants are going to be able to basically steamroll over them as much as they want. We'll have game number 2 coming up right after this, though, so don't go anywhere. Keep the stream up, you know? Meanwhile, not a ton of action going on here. Tinker still attempting to split push. He has picked up a Force Staff as well as a Blink. I'm assuming just to escape from Viper in these engagements. However, I'd still like to see him just have a Dagon or something to bring down the Shadow Demon or the Earthshaker or even the Shadow Fiend, who, let's be honest, is not exactly squishy at this point in the game, but whatever. A little bit quicker. You know? Just a little bit quicker would be nice. Ag's still up for the Viper, of course. Do have a Reaver up on him as well. I mean, these heroes for Ints are just getting further and further ahead, and I can only assume they're waiting out the next Roche. In fact, they've had Cobb just stand in the pit. Say, okay, buddy. You're in timeout. We need to know as soon as Roche is up. He's like, okay. I guess I'll sit here. I'm assuming they did not write down the Roche timer, because Roche could not be up for another 20 seconds or so here. So right now he is literally wasting time.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And of course, as soon as Roche could have respawned, he's out of the pit, and Roche will be respawning very, very soon. So this game could be over in the mere blink of an eye, as actually this courier is on a secret mission. Shh, I won't tell him. But it's a plate mail. Gonna be brought out to the bristleback. Secret mission, not so secret when it runs right past the creeps. Alexia is behind enemy lines, though. Playing the HY, stay in the trees game. As Roshan will, of course, be up. Both teams knowing about it. Not too sure what it's, or what PlagueDota, excuse me, plans to do about either of it. There's going to be a Hex out on Alexia, who will just BKB up. Actually blowing the BKB of the bristleback. That was a 10-second BKB charge right there. Now, granted, no, Bristleback's Spirit Breaker's Nether Strike does pierce spell immunity. I am, to be honest, a little bit unsure as to why he did that. You guys mocking me for my Asian tan reference or whatever. Meanwhile, Roche is going to be going down. Can't believe I missed that one. However, still paused. Figured I'd take the time to alt-tab and check on my TI games, because, you know, whatever. Up top, though, you're going to see Alexia getting hexed up again. I can understand why he used the BKB, because he's trying to TP out. But wait, Tinker isn't going to get it. Nope. This Viper will find an Invis rune down here on the bot lane. Does have some cheese as well as a heart. I mean, bringing down this Viper, it's going to be no small feat. As he does have that heart, the cheese, the pipe, the mech. Power treads on Agi, actually. Could put him on strength, but doesn't even need to. Shadow Fiend as well, going to be sitting on a very fat HP pool of, well, 2,500 practically. Tinker going to lay down a March of the Machines. They did smoke, but I don't believe it was seen by the Radiant. In fact, wait a second. No, but now they'll notice it. They know that they're smoked up now. And the Radiant team trying to re-engage here. Tinker just desperately running back to the base and trying to live. But Alexia going to get hit with the hook shot. Knocked back by the Cogs. Sune not popping the BKB yet. Still has the Aegis to work with at least. And Ghost Scepter out from the Clockwork will actually keep him alive for now. But a BKB out from Shadow Fiend as he's going to just aggress forward, try to take down the tower. Will not quite be able to bring down a hero other than that Clockwork, of course. But Viper throwing out the Viper Strike as well. And Shadow Fiend just saying, no, I'm going to take your tower. Does pump the Satanic before he hits the tower. Now keep in mind, Satanic does not work on towers, nor does any form of lifesteal as far as I know. But, whatever, I guess. Meanwhile, Visage actually split pushing up top, does take a tower, so may have spoken too soon. BoRDota could very well still be in this. Shadow Fiend actually does pick up the Refresher Orb on the Courier right now. Top barracks under attack. There will be a TP back from Alexia. Of course, he can charge into the fight. This is the opening for BoRDota if there ever was one. Unfortunately, though, there's a bit of a fissure blocking their path at the moment. That will lead to INTZ getting a pretty easy retreat. In fact, Shadow Fiend bought out that Refresher and still has almost enough for buyback. Almost. Still about 25 gold away. There we go. Just enough now. Even after the what is it?
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
The level up that should be coming for him pretty soon. Only about 500 XP to go till he is at that level cap of 25. Six actually getting hexed up. In a bit of trouble here, but will be mech'd up and could potentially live, as there will be a death on the Tinker. And there is no buyback available on him. He did buy out the Dagon too before he died previously. Meanwhile, Alexia charging out over here onto ABC. Maybe. Maybe C? Maybe not. Actually, he was charging the Tinker. What am I saying here? That was the debuff of the Solar Crest that I got confused with. My bad. A Viper Strike already out onto Bristleback as they will be pushing into the high ground now. And the Asian Tan actually going to turn his back and land the Bristleback up against the Spirit Breaker stun, which generally only hits in the front. Sune actually able to get the ult off in stellar fashion, as actually Torolnace will be getting a double kill. That's a death on the Tinker as well. And Cat in a lot of trouble. He loses his armor, loses his Gravekeeper's Cloak, and it looks like it's going to be GG in game number 1. A refresh, a BKB, and a big ulti. Now from the Shadow Fiend to close things out. Can he even finish off the Bristle before it's time? It doesn't look like it, but they will indeed end the game. We'll be right back with game number 2. Thank you for watching Truesight TV. Don't go anywhere. Keep in mind you can pull your TI qualifiers up. Don't forget to come back, guys. We've missed you too much. And, yeah, thank you for watching. We'll be right back.